Hey, I'm Bo Island, and welcome to another beautiful day in Bear Island, the island where all conversation is laid out bare. As always, it is my pleasure to be stranded here with my co-pilot, Peyton. Peyton, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Bo. I'm really feeling good today. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey, another beautiful day on Bear Island.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful day. A little bit of rain, but that's okay.
The
That's
inaugural
all right.
day.
Inaugural day. I'm loving it, man. I am jacked to be here. I am so excited. This is months in the making.
It is. It's taken a long time, but hey, we're here. We're here.
We did it.
We got some juicy topics to go over today.
Some juicy topics.
A little from me, a little from you. But let's go ahead and let's just jam right into it.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. What do you want to talk about today, Bo? Wait, should we talk about what this is? What it is we're doing here?
Oh, what is Bear Island?
What is Bear Island?
It is. It is what it is. No, essentially, Bear Island is a place where essentially we're going to lay it all out. We're going to talk about things that are important to us.
Okay.
We're going to get tidbits from outside, what's important to other people, kind of the topic of the conversation. Yes. But we're going to keep it light and keep it fun.
Good.
Hopefully it's fun for other people, but we'll see.
Yeah, we just talk about nonsense, the bare necessities of nonsense,
That's it. The bare necessities of nonsense. Not copyrighted.
Not at all.
But we've been talking this way a long time. We've been at the local establishments around here.
Yep.
And we just thought we'd put voice to recording and see how it works out.
Yeah, I think that's the general premise for anybody that may be listening. Is we sort of came up with this just by talking at dinner every single week,
Yep.
And we thought we'd just, you know what? Let's put this to good use.
We didn't hate each other enough so we decided to start a podcast.
Yes. We were torturing each other's ears so much, and we said, you know what?
Let's do this to the
public.
Public should hear this.
Oh, good. Well, let's get started then. They got the context. What do you got for us today, Bo? What do you want to talk about?
Okay.
Let's get into it.
I'm going to start off with something a little controversial, so stay with me here.
Lay it bare.
I'm going to say something, and I want you to just hold on a second and let me finish.
I will not speak.
So essentially, modern day Disney is hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. So
no, you made the claim. Now you follow with your argument. Here you go. You got it.
Here we go. So last night, again, I have kids, and we watch Disney Plus every once in a while for the classics, the good stuff.
Yeah.
Aladdin, Lion King, all those good animated classics. None of the new stuff.
Good stuff.
But as I've noticed, and again, I'm a huge Marvel fan.
Oh, yeah.
And just the quality nowadays has been going down and down.
Like in general or specifically?
Yes, in general. Like,
okay.
I don't think the Marvel movies are as good
since
Endgame. And the kids' content is bad, really bad.
Yeah.
So... And I preface this by saying, again, this is Disney I'm talking about here, and I am watching it with my 6-year-old, and there was a new Disney movie, that airs on the Disney Channel.
One of those like
made for
television movies.
Made for TV movies.
Yeah.
Made for TV movies. Yeah, the older audience will know what we're talking about here.
Of course.
And so... Disney Plus is telling us that we should watch it. It's on the recommended list.
Okay.
And so, I like to do my due diligence before I just let my kids watch their stuff.
Of course.
And so I did some due diligence, and I ran across a clip of this new movie.
Okay.
And they actually had to make 2 versions.
This new movie.
Yes.
2 versions of the new okay.
Yes. So the first version is on the Disney Channel. They get aired on the Disney Channel, but they actually have a different version on Disney Plus, and it's a little bit more adult. And one of the conversations, the teenage kids who are getting ready for prom...
They're getting ready for prom.
They're getting ready for prom.
I don't like where this is going.
So one of the main character is talking to another kid at a grocery store, and he's talking about his experience with girls.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So, this is Disney, right?
Right.
Usually,
The dialogue's going to suck. We know it's going to suck.
it's going to be terrible,
right.
But
especially
at least,
if it's made for TV.
at least sometimes it's cheesy goodness, or it used to be in the past. But no, one of the friends asked the main character if he has any experience with girls, and the character says yes. I've kissed a girl before. Okay, that's innocent enough.
Right.
He goes, no. Have you ever put the P in the V? And guy goes, what? And he looks over at another guy. He's a jock, stud.
Okay.
And he goes, oh yeah, that guy's put the P in the V. And I luckily my kids weren't around, so I gave it a good. I was absolutely.
What was
stunned.
the rating on this?
It's a Disney movie. Who cares what the rating was? It's not like they play rated R movies on there. Like
what's the name of the movie?
It's something to do with prom.
Okay.
Again, they're gearing up for prom, but it's not like a late 90s
It's not
or
a PG-13
or 80s John Hughes movie. This is like stuff on the Disney Channel that they air.
Right.
So like if you've watched it on the Disney Channel, you can then go to Disney Plus and watch it. And it's a different version that talks about P and the V on Disney.
I need to know the rating of this thing because I would get it if it's made for seniors in high school, like the PG-13 sort of thing.
Peyton.
But this is on the Disney Channel.
It referred my 6-year-old son, to Zombies, that god awful Disney Channel show.
Yep.
That and this prom movie. So in the same vein, they're like, "Oh no, this is for
this is recommended
for tweens, for again tween,
opening up
high
the
school
conversation
musical
for
stuff,
sex,
like if your kids like High School Musical, Zombies, maybe the show where the Disney villains have kids and they're all dancing around and stuff like that. No, same age demographic. So skews younger again. And they're talking about putting the P in the V.
That's absurd. That's wild, man. Like that is, I mean, okay. So there's
wrap your mind around it.
So
hold on. Just let it sink in for a second. This is a Disney Channel exclusive. They put it on Disney Plus, and they go, you know what? What if we made a raunchier version?
Who approved this dialogue? This doesn't happen. This doesn't exist independently. Like, this has to get approved.
I will.
This has to go to a board of people. This has to be approved by adults with jobs. Like they do this year round.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
And that's what they came up with.
Yes.
Like that was approved.
Yeah, no. Someone said, you know what?
Great idea. I got this stellar idea.
I love the movie how it is. But let's film this scene again, and let's make it a little raunchy. And again, I think it's hilarious, but it is not marketed to me and my ilk. And as a parent, like, there's a difference between Disney making garbage, which they've been proficient in for the last few years, but then downright having essentially kids watching other kids talking about, some
and
of the racier things.
Advertising it too. Like they're like promoting it to
well,
him.
It's not like they were promoting this specific scene. It actually feels like they were kind of trying to hide it.
That's the concerning part.
See, that's the concerning part. It was like they were trying to hide it in the Disney Plus version. So like your kids ooh.
Wait, so what's the other version? Is this scene not in the other version?
No, the one that aired on the Disney Channel was different than the one on Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're on the same page now. We are on the same page now. Okay. Wow. Okay, so here's my thought. There's movies that's marketed for teenagers that talk about sex. It's not new, right? Like that's like, teenagers like to talk about sex. They like to talk about, crushes.
And
that's fine.
And that's the thing is, if you look on Netflix, they're all over. Like
you have
you
got
these
the Outer
things.
Banks, you got Twilight, you got The Fault in Our Stars and whatever. Like you got all that crap.
You sure know a lot about these things.
I love it. You got Riverdale.
But like, Peyton, are you hitting on chicks that are watching these movies? Or are you
At the
just
time,
enjoying
yes.
them
At the
yourself?
time. No, at the time.
Okay, this is a different. We'll move on to this in a second. But please tell me about The Fault in My Stars.
So essentially, the point I'm trying to make is that these movies exist for like the spaces of teenagers that want to talk about this kind of content. Okay, like they're 18, they're like, okay, I want to relate to characters, I want to whatever. That's fine. But to put that in a Disney Channel movie, I mean that is a wild thing to do. Like that's borderline. That's gotta. I mean that's impossible to do that.
No, it's absolutely insane. But again, here we're.
Oh, we're gonna talk about The Fault in Our Stars now.
I want to talk about Disney some more, but I think we're gonna move on to you and your dating habits and how you're trying to get tweens right now.
Listen, man, the eighth grade, Okay, are we going to an ad break?
Pull up the cameras. 5, 4, 3. All right, just got done talking a little bit about the Disney and their new marketing tactics, but there's something that caught my interest there, Pate, and you sure know a lot about tween romance comedies and dramas and such. What's going on there, man?
Listen, man, the 8th grade was a wild time for me, okay?
8th grade?
The 8th
really?
grade? No, every movie I just listed to you before the ad break.
When did the
8th grade.
When did the Outer Banks come out?
Okay, not Outer Banks. Okay, not Outer Banks. Okay, not Riverdale.
I know
like Twilight,
specifically.
the Twilights, part 1 and 2, the last one. What was it? The Fault in Our Stars. Like that was all that stuff. You know, then like that Divergent stuff came out. Like all that was the phase when I was 8th.
So is that still working in your mid-20s now?
No, not even a little, Bo. I got to watch BoJack Horseman to get laid now. Like that's that's what we've stooped to now, and it's not a bad strategy.
Are a lot of mid-20 girls in
Dude, BoJack Horseman? I'm not kidding you.
That's
right now.
the play.
That's the play. You'd be really surprised. I was shocked, Bo. I was horrified. And I was watching this show. I'm like, man, this sucks. I hated it. I hated BoJack Horseman. And then it got really good. Look at their IMDb rating. It is like 8.8.
So I should watch BoJack Horseman.
Yes, highly. The first season is the worst part. The first season, it's good.
God.
Like it's watch.
Oh,
no. Stop. No, their IMDb rating. Like so, the first 7 or 8 episodes, they're like 7 out of 10 stars, right? And then the last like 3 are like 8s and 9s, and then every episode 2 through 5 is like if it's not a 9, then it's 8.5 or higher. I mean, it's insane.
Peyton, if you need a
I don't need IMDb. Don't make that point.
No. I'm not making that point. If you need a season of television, if the prerequisite is for, hey, Bo, get past this really crappy first season of television.
They're not crappy.
And then it starts getting good.
It's the thing is, it's not crappy. Like the first season,
I'm pretty sure you just said
it wasn't very
good.
Me personally, I didn't enjoy it because I wasn't actually watching it. You know, like I was just
That's
I was trying to get laid. I wasn't paying attention, but like I gave it its due diligence, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad.
A whole season, it's its due diligence.
Yeah, I did, and you know what?
Like
I enjoyed it. Like it wasn't great, but it was watchable. You know, I was like, okay, like that's you're sitting there 10 o'clock, you're like nothing else to watch, throwing some BoJack Horseman. It was good. But then it got to the point where I'm like, I need to see what happens next. Like, I need to watch BoJack Horseman. It is so funny.
This is something new about you. I didn't know you were so into BoJack Horseman.
No, I'm not even done with it. I'm on like season 3.
You think for my own namesake, being a Bo, that I would watch BoJack Horseman.
Well, it's also got one of my favorite comedians in it, and he's so underrated.
Will Arnett?
Yes, he is so good. Will Arnett is so
good stuff. He's
damn good. And I think he's so. I want him in more things. I want him in all the things, Bo. I want him in everything.
This just turned into the Will Arnett podcast.
This is the Will Arnett podcast.
This is not how I imagined the inaugural episode.
Go check out Blades of Glory exclusively for Will Arnett. I mean, he steals the show in that movie.
Blades of Glory has some good moments.
That is such a good movie.
That is some good moments. I've come to appreciate that movie more due to the fact of how much, movies stink.
Right.
Like a lot of
that
comedies.
movie, spoiler alert for the end of
movies.
2008 film, Blades of Glory. The end of the movie is the dumbest thing you will ever watch in your life. It is What you remember how it ends? It's them flying out of the Olympics on their firework skate packs and shooting flames at the sun. After this very grounded comedy flick, it's so jarring and out of nowhere.
You would call that comedy grounded?
Well, like the most insane thing that happens is Will Ferrell skating. Like it's nothing like I don't know. There's nothing too wild. Like that was into a different.
Half of that movie is in front of like a green screen.
It's so good,
and like you can tell, like. They cut to Will Ferrell like head bobbing every once in a while, but he's not actually skating.
Dude, the thing is, I haven't watched that movie in so long. It was probably I didn't even know what CGI was last time I watched that movie. Like I was watching that movie, and I thought it all looked so good. I bet if I watched it now, I'd be like, ugh, it's a little cringe, but it's still funny. It's still a good thing.
No. Will Ferrell's good stuff, especially early Will Ferrell.
Early Will Ferrell. Sorry,
dude.
I got marbles in my mouth or something.
No, don't worry about it. But no, like I still jam out to good Anchorman. Anchorman's my favorite. Anchorman's my favorite. Will Ferrell.
First Anchorman is.
I was actually not that long ago watching Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers is gold.
That's gold. Well, and also. Talladega Nights, okay. I think Talladega Nights is too memed on. I think it's like it's oversaturated with meme material, and that it actually makes people not want to watch it. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's seen No, actually watch Talladega Nights. I don't believe that. It is
who didn't watch Talladega Nights? Like who said to you? Oh, I saw that meme. Thus, I saw that really good meme, and thus I didn't want to watch the movie associated with it.
I think that movie is on every time you turn on the TV.
Well, 100%.
Do you think there's a single person on planet Earth in the last 5 years who's actually sat down and watched that movie from beginning to end, all the way through without commercial breaks?
That's a good call.
Like I'm just saying, like that is like no one talks about how good a movie. Everyone's seen bits and pieces.
It did pop up on Netflix not that long ago,
dude. And I'm gonna watch it.
And it did. Like I had already watched it.
Gotcha.
You were asking who finished it, and I said I'm actually one of those losers.
There you go. There you go.
No, but it's so good. It's so good. It's so good.
Do we want to move on?
So talking about things that we're watching.
Yes.
Recently.
Yes. Please enlighten me.
Okay, so I'm not going to dig on you too much about what you're doing, in your young adult fantasy, picking up, young chicks. Really need to make sure you start ID carding them. I really worry about you. But been on the internet lately, and specifically YouTube, and I have gotten infatuated with cow trimming videos.
Wait a second.
Like
is that the hooves? Yes.
Training.
That is
trimming.
The most obsessive thing. I mean, like that. You could watch that I could watch it for hours.
I did watch it for hours. I watched it for hours. Like literally, I got on one, and it's I think he's Irish or Scottish. I'm not really sure. He's over, across the ocean. And, he has an accent, and he's going around trimming hooves.
But I bet he's really good at it.
Oh,
I bet every video has millions of views
so good.
For no reason. Every video has millions of views.
It's intoxicating. I sat down, and for some reason, the algorithm just hit me with, it's like, hey, Bo, you should watch a horse trimming video. And I was the guy that clicked on it.
And you clicked on it. And you clicked on that shit.
I clicked on it. And I started pouring through it. And it was the next tag after another. It's like, ooh, look at this infected hoof. I wonder what pops out. Usually pus or blood, but it's still great.
And they fix them up, and then they're walking afterwards, right? They're like walking normally. Have you seen them do it with horses as well?
Yes, I've seen it doing bulls, big
really?
bulls.
I've not seen the bulls.
Like I know what they put on there, so I know. I feel like I've watched enough videos that I could trim a hoof if I have to. Like if we went into a post-apocalyptic world, and they're like, Bo, this cow's hoof, it's not gonna make it. I was like, I could figure it out.
Yes.
I could figure it out.
Yes.
I could, I could put it all together, all the pieces, and I could save cows' lives and thus save humanity.
What is the
This is what I thought about
on hoof videos that you've what do you think the fair over under is? Like 40 and a half? That's my guess. It's like 40 and a half videos. Like
too many. Too many. I'm not going to give you a number because there are some that I've watched the entire way through and others where I've seen the procedure so many times that I would just be like, no, I know what's going to happen. And then it's weird because then the guy starts talking to you because he knows you've been watching a lot of these videos.
You know it.
He 100% knows this. And so he's like, he goes, now I think you believe that it's under the right cuticle nail or something like that. And then he's like, but if you look closely, my years of experience would tell me. And then he like peels apart part of the hoof. And like all of a sudden you just find some weird stuff in cow hooves.
Our storyline for this entire show is going to be trying to get this man onto our podcast. That is going to be our series arc. That is going to be our series arc.
If we made that guy, that'd be the best thing. And I think I'm doing his impression terribly. But it's so fantastic. It's fantastic. And you know, just watching this and it's so weird. Like,
well, everyone has that. Everyone has that.
Hayden,
those
I don't know
videos.
if you understand this or not, but if you don't get to these hooves,
they get infected, man.
Well, not only they die from hoof problems.
No,
and
he is saving lives.
no, he's the man.
Whoever this guy is, massive shout out.
There's a few of them out there, but yeah, he's the guy that keeps popping up back in my algorithm.
You know, Bo, there's a phenomenon among the YouTubes. And there's been a lot of memes, but I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's the guys in the middle of the woods building houses with nothing but sticks and leaves.
Yes.
And, dude.
Yes.
And I swear to God, every video has like 20 million views.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the
guys
most
building
addictive.
Random mud huts.
Yes, the huts.
Yes.
Dude, and they have like water slides and some
waterfalls
of them.
and slides.
Oh, man.
It is absolutely insane. No, it is a rabbit hole. And like I hope one day that we're that rabbit hole.
Dude, I want to be that rabbit hole. I want to be someone's rabbit hole.
I just don't think I have the chops to compete with hoof trimming guy and mud hut building guy.
Well, you know they've actually caught some of the people.
Caught them doing what? Building mud huts?
No. So some of them were frauds. There was one channel I saw where they actually were using like construction equipment and they weren't from where they said they were from. So like, you know how they normally like, oh, there's like random people in the middle of somewhere in a random country. No, they weren't from that country.
Well,
and
I never
equipment.
believed they were just in the middle of nowhere because obviously they had to set up and record themselves or someone had to record them or something.
But like it's the tools, it's the authenticity
but
of like digging the hole. And
honestly, Peyton, if you put a palm tree in the backyard and started digging a mud hut, like I would be just as impressed. I would be just as impressed. The fact that you're digging around in the mud with your hands and scooping out. If you in the backyard made a mud hut with a waterfall, I would just think that's the most impressive thing in the world.
I kind of want to do it now. You think if we get big enough that we could just start a live stream of me digging a hole in my backyard?
Well, I don't think we have to be big for you to build a mud hut in the backyard and record it.
I'm just saying that could be the keys of the kingdom.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the wheels are turning it up
but everyone's
here.
got that niche though, and one niche that I cannot stand on YouTube. Let me tell you about this niche, Bo.
Oh, jeez.
ASMR really bothers me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about the sound thing. It's the soothing
it's
sounds.
Where they whisper into the microphone.
The
I hate it. I hate everything about it. It makes me very uncomfortable to listen to.
Really?
But then it gets worse. So what is it? I've seen a couple where like I'm like, well, I can understand, but like it's not for me. But I get it. But then there's other videos. Like I saw one with a lot of views where it was this lady just eating food really obnoxiously and gross food, and she was putting it all in her mouth and talking with her mouth full and just trying to just create noises, and it was horrifying. It was truly a horrific experience.
I have some experience in this actually. So
okay,
I was in my office. It was probably a couple years ago, and I heard scratching in my office,
right.
And I'm looking all around, like it sounded like some kind of like rodent or something.
Okay.
And I was like, no way. And so I'm all looking around, and it was a constant like scratching.
It wasn't
And
going away.
just was not going away. Wasn't going away. And I actually pop out of my office, and I'm looking down both sides, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And so I'm just traveling up and down the hall, and I come to this door, and it's locked, and I hear it like it's put my ear up to the door.
This is at work?
This is at work. And put my ear up to the door, and it was getting more intense. Like it was coming.
You heard it.
It was coming from that room. And I was like, what the hell's going on? What is going on? And I was like, this is absolutely insane. There's something in there. There's like an animal. there is an animal or something happening right here. Right here.
This is horrifying.
So I actually, the lady whose office it is, because it was it's not a key, it's a code.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, I think somebody's in your office. Like I need the code.
Dude, someone is
Something is in your office.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now. This is electric. This is electric.
He's like, oh my gosh, get in there. Like, and I saw some like leftover food. And so I was thinking of some kind of like animal, like some raccoon or something was in there. And so I get her code, and I get in there, and I have like this broom.
This happened
This
for
is
real.
This is 100%.
Like, this is real life.
100%. So I have I have this broom in my hand, and I have one of the other people that work there, and like we're armed. We're armed in there to take down this animal. So I get around the desk, and it's coming from like it sounds like it's coming from under the desk. Well, it was coming from under the desk. It was coming from the computer speaker.
Okay.
And on the computer, it was a rando chick scratching a football. And so the lady had left on her ASMR. Her ASMR.
Okay.
And it was literally 2 hours. This is 2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours long of a woman scratching and touching a football.
Dude.
And that's the sound it was making.
Like, I get it.
So it was 2 hours. So that was my first experience, like actual, like, oh my gosh, like
what was the
people
reaction to that? You guys must have felt like absolute idiots.
No, I actually didn't feel like an idiot,
But it would have been funny.
She was the target of a lot of justified ridicule.
Please tell me you brought a football into the office.
Oh, 100%. Well, 100%. This is the bad part about it, Peyton. Actually, not bad at all.
Okay.
In my office, I have a football there constantly.
Well, yeah.
So I already have a football there.
As one
So you never know when random games of catch and so on and so forth. So I already had a football.
Yeah, stay strapped.
So she came back, and I stood outside of her office scratching the football. But even though that was my first foray, I did get really into one of them, and it was of a turtle eating various things.
Really?
It was this turtle.
What? How did you find it? Like what? Like
algorithm?
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. It was
that happens to the best.
And it was just like turtle eating. Whatever.
Right.
And it
like
was
lettuce.
Well, it was one was lettuce.
Oh,
so,
really?
So they had 4 different things lined up. It was like an apple, lettuce, a grape, and it was like something else like that. I'm not gonna lie, man. I sat there. It was like a 20-minute long video. I watched.
Was it relaxing? Or like what was the appeal?
I think I was more intrigued.
Right.
I think it was more like, just like, whoa, someone recorded this, put it up here, and I found it interesting. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you found it interesting.
I grew up loving the Ninja Turtles, so
Right,
maybe there was fascination with turtles. I'm not really sure.
Well, I've been told that it people use it to help them sleep. ASMR.
Well, there's you know that singer Camila Cabello. She does one on I think an app. I think Calm.
Dude, okay.
Yeah.
Mom actually,
Your mother.
my
Yeah.
mother, she used what was it? She
I
listened to
just
Matthew
didn't know-
McConaughey. She listened to Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And she said it was the most, like, she said she was out in 5 minutes on that Calm app.
Really?
Really? Yeah. No.
Really?
And she was him just like reading a story. It was him just reading a story. That was it. That was literally it.
I wonder if it had anything to do with like space and stars. 'Cause that would be nuts.
Or like a car, like a Lincoln. Like,
oh my God, Matthew McConaughey does Lincoln commercials. Good call.
he's just sitting there.
She wasn't even listening to Matthew McConaughey. She was just listening to the ads before the story.
Yes.
And she fell asleep.
It actually was. He's not even on the Calm app. She doesn't even know that. It's just the ads. You're right, man.
It's just
You're right.
the Lincoln ad.
You know, I would probably listen on that note. I'd probably listen to Matt McConaughey. I'd probably listen to the dude from Peaky Blinders, Cillian Murphy, in that voice. That dude has a very soothing, but also like determined voice. I don't know how to. I could never duplicate.
I wouldn't. I would like you to
never
try.
Dare. I would never dare. To.
Would you please try?
Want me to try?
Yeah, go ahead, give it a shot.
He does do that a lot. He does.
Yeah,
clear the
no,
throat
he
a
got
lot.
you. A lot of phlegm. Wow, look at you sitting back.
Brother. We will fight. We will win.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. He does that a lot.
That was fantastic.
Bo. Hey.
Oh my gosh! All right, you
he just does that.
went never from doing it to really getting into that. I really appreciate it.
I want to be him for Halloween the upcoming year. I feel like, and also I just kind of want to wear the hat to work every day now. Like I love that hat. I think it looks really like old timey, but also really cool. There's a certain fashion behind it. I can't fully grasp why I like it, but I do.
No, get you a nice boulder hat.
Speaking of shows you need to watch, I'm gonna make a list of shows that Bo needs to watch. You ready?
No,
Peaky Blinders, 2 Ozark.
To give you shows you need to watch.
Oh wait, should we talk about Spartacus or should we make that a whole episode or something? Because I feel like
All right, welcome back. We were gonna go into Spartacus, but I felt like that would probably go for.
Oh, we could talk about that.
We could talk about it for a while. Talk about that for hours. One thing I wanted to get to is just had the NFL draft,
dude. Yeah, we need to talk about this.
And you know, I'm not an analyst.
No, neither of us are.
I'm a fan of the foosball, the football American. And really enjoyed it. Really had a fun draft. And as a Colts fan, pretty jacked up. Now, again, I know you're a big Lions fan. So before I get into my, how much awesomer the Colts are, I'm gonna go break down with you how you feel. How you feel about your Detroit Lions?
You know, at first I hated it. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was like, "What are we doing?"
Oh, that night one was kind of
painful. Night one. I was confused. I was conflicted, and then I really looked at it, like, because I didn't really. I was not watching the draft live. I did not watch it live.
I did.
But I had been talking about it. But then I thought about like Jahmyr Gibbs. Watch some tape on him.
Okay.
And then I had the linebacker that we acquired that night. Inside linebacker.
What's his name?
Can't recall, but he's an inside linebacker from Iowa. That's all I need
to
know.
Good value.
And that, I was okay with that. Like, upon a recap, I saw how jacked Brad Holmes was for those picks, and we were kind of spoiled for choice as well. I mean, we picked up 3-4 free agent DBs before the draft. I mean, we didn't really need any tight ends, so why on God's green earth did we draft a tight end in the second round is beyond me.
Hey, man, pass catchers, playmakers, man.
Listen, man, this is how I feel about it. If Brad Holmes is jacked, then I'm jacked too.
You guys should have got Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. Golden blue through and through.
Yeah. I would have been okay with that.
All right, so
I'm not going to lie to you.
So listen to this, Pape. So
Hendon Hooker, great pick.
I was watching this with a huge Detroit Lions fan, our producer Berto, and he has some thoughts about the draft. So
Yes,
we'll see if we can't get him.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
here.
yeah. We'll see if we can get him on here.
And
he's a wild card.
So I was sitting with him, and we were watching the draft, and it's probably a few minutes after they drafted the running back at 12.
Okay.
And we were thinking, because like, man, Houston sure did give up a whole lot to jump back in 3.
Right.
And then we were like, oh, Detroit must have got like tons for trading back like 6 spots. And they got a second rounder. And I go, and there was no and. So again, we're all pretty juiced about this 12th pick.
Right.
And so I have a couple philosophies. Maybe they're terrible, but I just don't think you should draft non-premium positions, which I declare running back as one of them, this early in the draft. I just don't. I just wouldn't.
Well,
do
it's
it.
a big risk, man.
Wouldn't do it.
It's a huge risk.
So, well, not only that, but like they had this guy projected, like in the late 20s or something.
Yeah.
And we're kind of just sitting there kind of like confused, like, what? A running back? But they already got kind of like a stable of running backs.
Yeah.
And then, this is before they traded Swift. But so I'm sitting there and I'm just kind of like, ooh, we're all kind of a little befuddled. And even this long time Detroit fan is a little bewildered. He's trying to talk himself into how much he likes this pick. He's trying to talk himself into it. But we're like, hey, don't worry. We got another one coming up in a few picks.
Right. Yep.
They must have had this guy high. They seemed pretty jacked.
They were excited,
Like
man.
they were hugging each other, and there was
That's the only reason I'm excited about it. I'm not gonna lie.
And they were jacked about this. And they were talking, and we asked him. We said, hey, what is the? I asked the Lions fan. I go, what's the one thing you're not looking for this second pick? And he was like, going, I don't really remember what he says all that much. And I go, well, I tell you what, it shouldn't be. And I go, if you've already drafted a running back, and I know he's told me you've needed a linebacker.
Yep.
But I go, this is not 1992 or 1986. I was like, running back and inside linebacker are not premium positions. And I'm sitting there,
and behold.
and again, we're all looking at each other like, no way they go linebacker. And then all of a sudden they're like, linebacker out of, I think it's like Iowa or something. And I am just losing my mind. I am laughing. I go, there is no way that they just, spent 2 premium picks on non-premium positions. Now, again, what do I know about the draft?
Right.
All these players or anything? But that and the fact that we were just talking about how it would be a throwaway pick to get a linebacker at this point, and then for them to do it, I couldn't contain myself. And then the look on his face. Again, later in the evening, he would talk himself into how good these picks were.
Oh, yeah. I helped him with that, too.
But at
Boost the morale a little bit.
that moment, he, you could tell he was just as he looks super deflated.
Well, the thing is that we've been really excited about this draft more than any draft that I can remember. I mean, it's been a long time. I don't even think I've ever been excited about a draft before. I didn't even watch it, but I was jacked about it. And it felt underwhelming that first night. It really did. It felt like classic Lions. It felt like classic Detroit, But re-examining, I feel better about it. I mean, if they're that excited about it, like I can't not be, Like I feel like I love those dudes. I love those dudes.
In Brad Holmes we trust.
In Brad Holmes. And also, I do not hate trading away DeAndre Swift. I do not hate that at all. I think that's a smart move. I'm okay with it. I love Swift. But I'm okay with it. And I think we'll recover just fine. I mean, I'm excited for Montgomery. Montgomery's going to be awesome.
What about your 12th round, 12th overall selection?
That dude's gonna do very mediocre that first year, and then that second year, man. Though, let me tell you, that second year, third year, the third year, I guarantee you, he spends the second season out.
Do just fine.
Second season, he's gonna get injured. He's not gonna be anywhere around. First season, he's gonna kind of sort of blow up at the end of the first season. Injury at first game, second season. Third season, he's gonna go absolutely ballistic.
The only issue I really have with it is evaluation based off of the draft reports to where they selected him. Now, if someone was going to come up and pick 13 or 14, or they felt like they got a steal, or they had him rated as like the number one running back,
Right.
All metrics, fantastic.
Let's talk about the Colts.
My only concern, though, is before we move on to the greatest draft ever, is is that value based on where you're picking.
Right.
And I just felt like they could have done better. Although I do like their draft on the whole.
On the whole, yes, and they also made some very recent signings that I'm excited about.
I don't want to hear about undrafted free agents.
No, I don't care, but I like them because I was told by the Lions social media page to like them. So,
okay,
yeah,
super reliable.
No, dude, those guys are solid, rock solid. They're unbiased. I mean, we hear me roar.
All right, now let's talk about the actual best draft of the year of 2023. Colts killed it.
I heard. Tell me a little bit about it, because the only one I know is Anthony Richardson.
That's the only one you need to know about it.
Is he going to be the starter? You think?
I don't think initially. I think you'll have him within by the second month. I think you'll see him by October.
Right.
But the first few games will go to Gardner, and I think that's fine.
Okay.
The guy is raw, but again, I think he can catch on quickly. I mean, I've seen him.
Develop him a little bit.
Yeah. No. I think we're fine. I think we're going to run that Jalen Hurts Eagles offense, and I think
that was wild how successful that was last year.
I think the guy is an incredible athlete, like the number one athletic quarterback to ever come out, and I think
that is garbage.
but like he didn't test poorly in the one test.
There you go. Yeah, the test.
Not the Wonderlic anymore, but the other one where the cognitive test.
Yeah.
Did super well. No, like I think he's an incredible athlete. He has the cognitive ability to transform into a really good quarterback. And pretty excited. I feel like if we would have went Levis, it would have been, I don't think his upside is nearly as good. I think this guy is I don't necessarily want to say a boom or bust, but his potential is off the charts.
For Will Levis or
Richardson?
Richardson, okay.
And the thing is, that's the way about the entire Colts draft is they got super athletic guys. And they think that they can coach him up. We actually got a local guy from the Indy area. He went to Warren Central. He was their second round pick. And excited about that. Like a Richard Sherman type.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Longer guy. It's funny. I tell people our second and third round pick was a corner who's built like a receiver. And a receiver who's built like a corner, because our receiver, whom it was slated to go earlier in the draft, we got in the third round.
Right,
nice little shifty guy, going to play that
sort
slot.
of like a Tyreek Hill.
He's not that fast.
Less fast.
Not too much. Tyreek plays on the outside. Tyreek plays on the.
Does he?
Yeah. No. This is more of like your your Stokely, Welker.
Yeah, okay.
Guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, he's going to be.
I would love
big.
to finally cheer for one of those.
Well,
I would love to finally cheer.
Well, the thing is like he's set up with the receivers we have are tall, big dudes,
right?
And so we needed that quick, jittery guy. You
gotta mix it up, man.
Someone who's laterally quick. Here, I'm getting into the depth with it. Like, here, listen to me. So I'm excited about that, and we got a defensive end, uber athletic. Just raw, and he was projected to go earlier. Like, there's a lot of. We got a lot of need positions and a lot of athletic upside, and we had the most pick in the modern era. Like, we had like 12 draft picks.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I was unaware of that.
Oh, yeah. Super strong, at least on paper.
That's 12 dudes. That's 12
That's 12 dudes
guys.
in 7 rounds.
Man.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well,
I'm a Colts fan. Like, listen, for the people that watch, the millions and millions of viewers.
Millions and millions.
The millions of viewers out there, I am a Colts fan. I just like the Lions more.
Hey,
I am a Detroit Lions fan.
Believe me, there is no one that has more sympathy in the world For you, then me.
Oh, yeah.
I can appreciate the Lions, and I root for them.
Yeah,
against most. Yeah, but no, yeah.
Yeah, go Colts. I don't even like
Speed
watching
blue.
them play each other. I like them both.
Yeah,
They're
no,
borderline,
like 'em.
equally borderline.
Well, you're allowed to like them because one's NFC and one's AFC.
Exactly. And
you go.
the real ideal goal is for them to play each other in the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't even cheer. I would just be happy they're both there.
No,
I wouldn't cheer.
See, that's the difference. I'd want the Colts to pound the Lions, just absolutely annihilate those dudes.
Well, even better, you guys would probably screw them over and win off some BS.
Here it is. Here it is. Classic Lions fan. The whole world's against you.
Hey, man.
Not your poor drafting, your
no
poor
one wants to
coaching,
see
or your
no
poor
one wants to
management.
see Detroit, the city of Detroit, thrive, and I think that is absolute. That there is a malicious, intentional attack against the city of Detroit, and I feel like that needs to be addressed, and I feel like there needs to be justice for Detroit, in my humble opinion, and the real justice, the justice will come by winning the Super Bowl, taking our rightful place as the city of the United States.
I would be more than happy for you guys to win the Super Bowl. Just
as
not
long as
against
it's
the Colts.
the Colts.
Just anybody else. Anybody else. Just not the Colts.
In an ideal world, we beat the Patriots, but I don't want the Patriots anywhere near the Super Bowl. Like, that would be the problem, is I'd have to watch them win games in the build-up,
Like, I really don't like them either. I know there's a rivalry, but, like, when they're not good and we haven't been good,
dude,
it's really
sucks.
hard to, like, hatred.
The Colts and the Patriots
dislike.
were staples, man. I mean, they, Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were, just competing for years, decades. Borderline decades.
No,
but now, they're just both down so bad right now, and it's really unfortunate. It's sad. All my boys are leaving. Manning, Breeze, Rivers.
It's not sad that the Patriots are down. It's just it's hard to build up hate against them.
Agreed.
If they're not good.
Well, except they beat the Lions 27-0 in the regular season. I wasn't too happy about that. So I have plenty of resentment for the New England Patriots.
Okay. All right,
this year anyway. This year. And I'll find a new reason to hate him. Bill Belichick is still one
there.
of my least favorite people in the NFL space.
You hate greatness?
No.
I
hate him.
If he was the head coach of the Detroit Lions, he would be the most beloved.
Well, in my opinion, Matt Patricia was a better coach than Bill Belichick.
Wow.
And on that note,
It has been a pleasure, as always. Glad to be stranded with you sometimes on Bear Island. And with that, we are out.